Solid. Uh, did some good things in regards to applying pressure. They were pretty sound in the run game, and we're just going to try to keep improving this week and build on what we were able to accomplish last week against a pretty good UCLA team.
Great. We'll start taking questions. So shoot me your indicator in the chat, and I'll follow you. Brian Howell will start.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to ask you about the young guys in the rotation. You guys talked a lot about the depth rotation, but we didn't see a lot of the young guys in that game. It was mostly those three starters. So was that kind of by design, or is that something you'd like to get those guys more involved as you go on?
Well, early on, it really wasn't as big of a factor because with the first 9 possessions, we had multiple 3-and-out, multiple turnovers. So they didn't play a lot of snaps early. I think starting out, they probably had 28 snaps in the first half. And then the second half, that's when things changed a little bit. So I wanted to get them good lathered up since there are no preseason games and there are no extra. I wanted to get them some good reps. And then obviously the second half was a tale of two halves. Then we had to go in and have a higher substitution with our guys, and that's when the second group got the majority of their reps.
So as a follow-up to that, I know it ended up being about 10 snaps or whatever for that second group, but what did you see out of them in those snaps that you liked there?
Well, but they did their job. And again, that was the biggest thing. They were in position. They made the plays that they were supposed to, and they got a lot of quality reps in a contested hot game. And so I think anytime you can give that kind of experience to guys and they can go out and execute, it builds confidence going forward. So it makes practice better. It makes the next opportunities better. So they got a chance to really compete in some critical situations, which I thought they did well.
Adam Munster Tiger.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to get your thoughts on Jalen Sammy, how he graded out in the opener, and what is his potential? What is his ceiling as a player?
I don't think he's reached that. He has a high ceiling right now. The biggest thing for Jalen right now is getting the reps in our new style of play. I won't call it a new scheme, but our style is a little different. And he's learning to play faster. He's learning to play more physical, coming from a read front to an attack front. So I'm really excited about Jalen and what the future has for him. He's got a lot of reps in that big body, and he's got some dominant traits that you can't teach. He's got natural size and natural height and length. So again, the future's bright as long as we continue to progress.
Back to Brian Howell.
So, Coach, Mustafa is that guy that's been the kind of star of that line in the past. I'm curious what you've seen out of him in practice, and as you've now seen him in a game. He obviously had the sack, some other pressures, but kind of what are your impressions of Mustafa at this point?
Well, I really like the investment that he's made. And one thing that he's done, and I talk to our guys quite a bit, that when your best players become your best workers and your best leaders, then the culture's changing. And he's trying to take on that role, and he's doing it naturally, not only with his play, but with his day-to-day. And that's the two things that I look at from Mustafa. His preparation has really been well, and he's been really disciplined. So I'm excited to see how we keep progressing with him.
Let's go to Pat Rooney.
Coach, obviously a good start the other night. We saw a lot of big plays that UCLA was able to hit on your defense. I know it's not solely a function of the line, but as a unit, what have you all talked about since then about maybe trying to limit those going forward?
Covering our guys, doing our job. Nothing really exotic. You play early in the season. You really don't kind of know who these guys are. They had a lot of guys leave and go to the NFL a year ago. We knew they had some really good skill with number 10 and number 1. And then obviously the tight end has really been a guy for him. So you go against a quality team, which UCLA is, with quality players, as well as good coaches. So, it was a battle. It was a battle. And so I was excited that we were able to make the plays necessary to win the game.
Henry Chisholm.
Hey, Coach. Stanford has kind of built their offensive identity around running the football behind that big offensive line. What challenges does playing Stanford provide to your group in particular?
Well, it goes back to the basics, playing with great fundamentals, playing with great technique, and playing with great effort. And that's who we are every week, regardless of the opponent. And so that's the things that we emphasize. And I know sometimes it takes like talks, it seems like coach talk, but very rarely we talk about winning and losing. We focus on the improvement part of it and the discipline part of it and the preparation. And what we've done is we've had a good first day of that. So obviously Stanford, they're going to do what they do with good players and do it well. And they're a really good football team. So it will definitely be a challenge for all 11 guys. They have great balance in the run game and they're great in protection. So again, it'll be a big challenge for us, but we're excited for it.